How to know if you are with the right person. Welcome to this video. If this is the first time you see me, let me introduce myself. I'm Maria Elena Vadillo, psychologist by profession, and my mission is to accompany people to create the life they deserve. I do it combining psychology and spirituality. In this video, I'm going to give you 6 strong keys so that you can identify if you are with the right person. But don't go. Stay until the end because I'm going to share an additional tip from spirituality. And before starting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and, above all, activate the bell because every week I'm creating material for you. Let's start. Don't try to change him or change her. The first key for you to identify if you are in a healthy relationship is to ask yourself if there's something that you want to change in the other, or if consciously or unconsciously you harbor the hope that the other will change over time or with your love and your care. And this is essential. As a therapist, one of the biggest mistakes I see in relationships when people come to my office is that they start the relationship with expectations that others will mature, transform, or change over time or through the relationship, and this is a blunder. If that person told you from the beginning that he or she doesn't want to get married or doesn't want to have children, then don't expect that your affection, your love, or time will make them change their mind. Neither this can happen, but be careful. If you are expecting that to happen and it doesn't materialize, mistake, 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 and red warning sign. Also, keep in mind that behaviors such as alcohol consumption, fondness for certain sports, nightlife, or even infidelity are the behaviors that we most expect people to change. Sometimes we fantasize that these behaviors are due to age, pain that people have experienced in the past, or inexperience in relationships, and we fantasize that our affection, our love, and our care will cause that in some time these people transform and become what we want. As a psychologist, this is what I call a fantasy principle, because what you believe is that you will be the magic person, you will be that special person, you will manage to do what no one else has done before with that person. And through love, you will turn that person into the Prince Charming you long for, just like the princess who kisses the toad. Be very careful. Planning a relationship with someone based on the potential that you see in this person and not on the concrete and evident facts that you are seeing from the beginning of the relationship may be a sign that, in fact, you are not with the right person. So, to summarize this first point, you know that you are with a suitable person for you when you accept and love them as they are, with their light and their shadow, and even when you maybe don't identify with those aspects, but they don't clash with your principles or with your values. And you are willing to build a relationship without pretending that the other changes them. Compatible life projects. I always say that a couple relationship is made up of 2 individual life projects that give life to a joint project. But be careful, this cannot be taken to the extreme. When your life project agrees little or nothing with the project that the person you love has, the future of the relationship is at stake. Think about this. If your partner's purpose or dream is to go live abroad in a matter of a few months, and you don't want to get away from your family, the place where you were born, or your roots for anything in the world, do you think that this relationship can have a prosperous future? It is important that you analyze that your personal dreams combined or can actually add to the individual dreams of the person you have chosen to accompany you. Be very careful. Although it is true that agreements can be reached, and it is also true that the relationship is greatly enriched when there are different topics, when there are different interests, because my individuality adds to the other, we learn together, and we mutually grow, it is important that you take the differences into account, especially those rooted in radical issues such as religion, the way you want to spend money, even that, or the way you see life. If one of you doesn't want to have children, you prefer animals, and the other prefers to start a family and have children, do you think this will change over time? So be very careful with that. Be honest. Think. Before thinking about a joint project, what is the individual life project? Relax. These are topics that we often avoid talking about because of shame, because we believe that when talking about them, the other person is going to be on alert and run away, thinking that we want to put the rope around their neck, and that we are already imagining that we are going to tie them to our side for life. No, relax. It is so important to talk about things like this. How about for you the principles of life and relationship are based on savings, investments, measuring expenses, and you are next to a person who wants to live life spending money and having a good time without foreseeing the future and taking risks. Decisions that eventually, sooner or later, are going to have to be made as a couple and as a team, and that can be very difficult and can start creating fissures and fractures in the relationship if they are not spoken from the beginning. What is a recommendation for you to know if this is a suitable person? Sit down and ask him, how do you see yourself in the future? Calm things down and just say. Beyond it being with me or someone else, how do you want to see yourself? Have you ever thought about formalizing a relationship? Do you want to have your own house? Would you like to study? Where do you want to live? How do you see yourself in 10 years? What are your dreams? What would you be willing to negotiate, and what is an impassable limit for you? So, in a sensible and objective way, and using the key number 1, you can lay the cards on the table and analyze if you are really waiting for the other's life project to change, or if in fact those two projects could get together sooner or later and create great value for both of you. Simple and easy. This can be summed up in, it makes you smile more than cry. I tell you, and it is an adage, if it is going to bear fruit, it will bear fruit from the beginning. In personal growth, in life, in a business, in a job, and in relationships, the things that arise from love are simple, easy, and flow effortlessly. If from the beginning you feel that you have to be responsible for bearing the weight of the relationship, that one of you is making more effort to make things work, that it is not as easy as you would like it to be, that the only thing you have been through since this started is conflict, so the chances of him or her being the person for you decrease. Great relationships are characterized just like big business and big financial decisions. They arise from instinct, from a wise part that is within you, from intuition, and they happen quickly, easily, forcefully, and flow. I'm not saying that there are no conflicts. I'm not saying that there's no discussion. I'm not saying that at some point you cannot have any disagreement. It would be absolutely delusional to think that a healthy couple relationship can exist where everything is perfect. That doesn't exist. But it is very different that you have a conflict and that you solve it lovingly, that the conflict leaves learning at the end, and that what prevails the most is the love you feel. That's different from the ego, where you both are trying to be right about an argument. That is very different from thinking that since the relationship began, everything is a drama. That one or the other doesn't trust anything, that the families don't love one another, that they're both alone against the world, that definitely this is something that you have to fight for and that you have to try hard and you have to make it work. And if from the start, or perhaps you have been in the relationship for a reasonable time and you have broken up 3 or 4 times, you have asked for a time apart 2 or 3 more times, you have been through 1 or 2 infidelities, and you keep saying, you know what, this time we are going to make it right. We are going to try one more time. I know we can change. Let's try again. Warning sign. Each couple is a different story depending on the stages and characteristics, and each couple has their crisis. But if from the beginning this has been more crisis than moments of fullness and well-being, warning sign. The right person for you makes things simple and easy. Red flags. Point number 4 is that your relationship is not characterized by being full of warning signs or red flags. And red flags or warning signs can come from two fronts. Number 1, your family or close friends. People who know you know what you dream of. They know who you are, and they know what you are really passionate about. For this reason, it is very common for your friends or close people to say to you, "Be careful, do you really think that you are with the right person? Don't you think it is too soon to make this decision? Are you sure that this person really loves you? Be very careful, we believe that it is not convenient for you." And don't lie to yourself. You know when these type of comments come from envy, from jealousy, from selfishness, and when someone who loves you and appreciates you from their heart, they are really telling you this for your well-being. Many times we ignore and victimize ourselves or even bother because of what they are telling us. Please be careful, alert, stop. We even say to them, "You always try to make me get away from what makes me happy. You never want the best for me." And we begin to distance ourselves from those people with whom we have shared most of our lives without realizing that perhaps, since they are not biased by the cocktail of neurochemicals or the emotions so strong and overflowing that we live in the first stage of falling in love, they can see much more objectively those things that perhaps we do not see. So be very careful with those warning signs. The second front from which the red flags can come are moments, situations, actions, or circumstances that you voluntarily decide to overlook. For example, that person with whom you are now dating keeps his cell phone silent all the time. When he is with you, he keeps it in airplane mode. He always puts the cell phone with the screen down. He has 1,000 passwords. He is very careful not to leave his cell phone alone. And your sixth sense says to you, is he maybe hiding something from me? But you decide to overlook that warning sign, you simply ignore it, blindfold yourself and say, "Nah, maybe I'm very paranoid and I'm just making this up." Simple behaviors such as the other having the need to control your time and your decisions, behaviors or comments such as, "Are you really going out dressed like that? And why are you going out this Friday night? Shouldn't you stay home? Call me when you arrive. Tell me where you are going to be. And who are you with at that party?" These are warning signs that tell you, hey, this is a person who probably wants to be in control of your life. And you decide to ignore them, thinking, "Nah, it's because we're just starting and that person really cares about me." So every relationship is a world, and I just give you a few examples. But what I want you to see is that when you are with the right person, there are no such warning signs. They are not so frequent. They do not come from people who know you and appreciate you, nor do you make an effort to overlook them or sweep them under the rug and ignore them. Physical. That person is the right person for you if they just attract you. And remember, we're not saying you think they're handsome or pretty. We're saying physically that person is really nice. It doesn't matter what the rest of the world thinks. I like him, I'm attracted to that person, I feel like hugging him, having physical contact, kissing him, being intimate. Our sex life is full. There's chemistry between us. And beyond how full or not sexual life can be, because let's remember, when you are starting a relationship, sometimes everything is perfect. You make an incredible click, you match, and everything is rockets and stars. But on many occasions, it is also necessary to start building confidence, strengthen the bond, and make that with a lot of patience, communication, love, perseverance, and above all, with a lot of confidence that intimacy matures and intimacy can really be strengthened. What I mean here is not how good is the sexual performance that you have as a couple, but how much you are attracted to each other and how comfortable you are physically with each other. There's no place for the past or for someone else. Sixth, you are with the right person when, instead of thinking about what you had, you dedicate yourself to enjoy what you have in the present moment. Simple. Are you with someone and are you remembering your ex all the time? Are you comparing him all the time? Do you think that what you had with someone in the past was much better than what you have now? Do you think you can never feel for this person what you felt for someone else before? That is a red flag. When you are with the right person, you understand that you have changed, that the past was already a different story, and that everything new that you are discovering at this stage of your life, and with this person in particular, generates great value for you, great enthusiasm, and fill your life with colors. So, when you are more in the present than in the past, you are definitely with the right person. Additionally, when you are with this person, you have a hard time imagining someone else, and this is very, very important. When you have alternatives, or when you're just thinking, well, I'm in this relationship, but would I really like to find someone else? What does this person lack, and what do I think I could find in another person that I can't find in my current partner? If the answer is no, there's definitely a list and a lot of things that I would like to have in a couple, but that I don't see with whom I am right now. Or even if someone I know comes to my mind and my heart tells me, I would love to be with that person, but I can't. I'm already with this one. That is a red flag. You are with the right person when neither past nor future, when you simply say, wow, it may not be the perfect person. Of course, there will be someone with many more attributes, but at this moment, this person gives me everything I want, and I feel comfortable enough for not having someone else in my mind. Let's go with the additional tip. Final tip. Very well, the additional tip is that I want you to keep in mind that everything that happens is perfect. The title of the video is How to Know If You're with the Right Person, viewed from a psychological perspective. That is, how to know if you're in a healthy relationship that is not toxic and that contributes to your growth. But I want you to have something in mind. Couple relationships are your best therapy and are your greatest school. Through couple relationships, you can discover the emotional aspects that are not resolved in you. And if you are in a conflicted relationship, don't think that it is casual. You have attracted them and you have materialized it because you have decided that this experience adds learning to your life. So, in spiritual terms, you are already with the right person to add to your life an experience that leaves growth and learning. That doesn't mean that from a spiritual perspective you have to stay with that person for the rest of your life, or that you have to tolerate it, or that you have to be a martyr. Once you integrate learning, and when you have seen that more than happiness, it is adding drama and conflict to your life, you can decide. I keep what I learned, I release the relationship with love, and I open up myself to wonderful experiences from self-love and because I deserve it to create a much healthier relationship. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If the material I'm creating is helpful for your life, please give it a like. I love you very much and see you in the next video. But finally, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. If you don't, you are missing out on very valuable material that I share every day for your growth. And also, you deprive yourself of the opportunity to know a little bit about my personal life. Hope to see you on Instagram. Kisses and see you in the next video.